Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. In 2003, Debethune launched one of its very first watches, the DB10. 38 were made, and if you were good in a previous life, you come back as something better. So for 2011, 20 examples in rose gold and 20 examples in white gold were produced of the DB10 Re-Edition, and that's what I have in my hand. 20 pieces in rose gold. It's an homage to the original, but mechanically upgraded in every way. In rose gold, it is still 42 millimeters in diameter and slender at 10.5 millimeters thick, 45.6 lug-to-lug. It has a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw this watch on my wrist, and being so short across the wrist, it almost wears like a lugless watch. So I could recommend this even if your wrist is fairly small, let's say 14 centimeters circumference, because you can see my 16 centimeter wrist has plenty of clearance on each side. So 14 centimeter circumference wrists and up. Being thin, it'll easily slide under a dress cuff. It's very comfortable. You can see the strap. Small round scale alligator on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, brand new Debethune factory strap. On the top, we have rectangular scale alligator leather, medium brown, semi-gloss. You can see it features a shear cut edge lacquered for refinement and a monotone stitch. Curved spring bars are used, so there's no impediment to the motion of the strap, as it is fairly closely drilled lug-wise to the flank of the case, so no impediment to the motion there, so it'll fit well on a small wrist. And a very simple Debethune branded rose gold pin buckle. By this point, Debethune making its own cases, dials, and movements in-house. So everything you see here is Debethune. There's a very gentle step of the lugs out from the case band, and in the company's historically informed fashion, we have a crown that is unbranded. We have a domed bezel. We have these little ogival or torpedo-style lug tips, and these are a nod to the original DB10 as well as the original Debethune series dating back to the DB1 chronograph of 2002, which had the same design. And you will find small references to this design trope in Debethune watches to the present day. Now, the dial is an homage to the original in terms of the guilloche cut that's used. So outboard, you can see we have what could either be described as vague or wave, or maybe a caille de poisson or fish scale. And then inside, we have a more conventional rosette guilloche. The original DB10 was a three-hander with very little in terms of complication or mechanical nuance. It used a very basic A-shield caliber. I want to say it was the 2074, so it was a customer caliber watch designed to be a basic automatic. Well, this is an automatic, but it is not basic. You can see now we still have three hands, but we also have a date, and that little pointer date at center, let me demonstrate in detail, little pointer date at center has a quick set mechanism, so you can rapidly set it and get a little bit more information out of your time teller. You can see the hands are fired blue with the exception of the date indicator, which is rose gold. Then we have this lovely satin metallic track, and everything on this dial printed in a very dark blue for a handsome contrast. On the back, now a display case back. You can see a considerable upgrade over the old Schild automatic. This one with twin barrels, automatic winding, a 6-day power reserve, a 4 hertz beat rate, 30 millimeters in diameter to handsomely fill this large case. You can see this is number 4 of 20 made in rose gold. You can also see a full balance bridge to mitigate the effects of shock, as well as a micrometric index for fine timing adjustments and for more general timing adjustments and beat error correction. Here we have Edicron. Also note the use of the unique black polished snail cam with an extended lever arm for the fine adjustments. You don't actually move that little index back and forth. You move the snail cam so that you have absolute control of that index. You can see that the finishing is relatively simple. This was considered to be the entry level of the Debethune collection, and so you can see a combination of media blast and snailing. You can see that there's polish on some of the components like the screws and the regulator assembly. There's more matte finishing on the base plate, and then you can see on the balance bridge we have a snailing effect, which is quite handsome. So there's lots to love here. 30 meters water resistance, so dress watch standard, splash and rain exposure only. You don't necessarily want to take this swimming. You can see at center we have satination on the cover to the ball bearing. Then we have media blast on an exceptionally long rotor arm, which allows it to have substantial leverage to wind efficiency. And as you can see, we have a conventional Balance, which is not the debethune proprietary one, because again, this watch was designed to be an homage to debethune's own history of customer calibers and also a more accessible point of entry to debethune watch ownership. But I find the classical design speaks more to a lot of watch collectors who may be coming over from F.P. Journe, Kari Voutilainen, Moritz Grossman, or Holy Trinity, or A Lange und Söhne. So if you're not into the space age aesthetic of some debethune watches, this might be right up your alley and is a limited edition you will never see another one. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.